And so I looked at him, I was like, well, look, you can take a break and I can take over. Either I can get to work or you can. You can take a lunch break and I can take an hour and fill in for you. But listen.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for watching Chatting with Chelsea. I am here with the incredibly talented Iman Crosson, also known as Alphacat.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double.
I wanted to introduce you, but I really wasn't sure how to introduce you. I would say actor, content creator, impressionist, rapper, comedian, chef, fill in the blank.
Well, thank you. I think you got it all. Actor's fine.
You're just actor with the additional extra skills and traits. What's your favorite impression that you've done?
Out of the ones that I do, I would say Obama for sure. I oftentimes get slapped with the title of impressionist when I'm not really an impressionist. I'm more so an actor that can do some impressions. I mean, I guess probably Obama. I mean, that's the one that I'm most known for. That got me from waiting tables to the White House.
That's a book. If you haven't gotten that title, that should be your book.
I've definitely been told that one before, and maybe I could write a book. There's a lot of interesting stories. I am also now voicing Barack Obama on a show called Cartoon President on Showtime.
Yes, I got your email, and I've been meaning to donate.
So that has been cool because it's voiceover. And so we used to do these sessions in live, voice studios. But because of the setup and, I have like my own little mic studio here, I'm able to do that job from home when and if they call me. So every once in a while, they'll call and say, hey, we have a new episode, or hey, we need to do some pickup lines. And so I'm able to do the session with them via Zoom and on home. So at least that part works out, which makes me start to look at voiceover a little bit more. I'm excited about this season because we've done some musical numbers, and I love doing musical comedy. I've always enjoyed, pretty much most, if not almost all of my Obama videos that I've done on my channel have all been musical. The secret is I actually like to rap. But
you're so good at it.
Well, thank you. But I would never want to pursue or even try to pursue rap seriously. So the way that I get to rap and get my bars off without having to do it seriously is by doing it in the guise of comedies. So Obama stuff, I've done other videos where I'm rapping, but I just make it funny. So we're doing some musical stuff this season on Cartoon President, and this time it's singing. And it should be a lot of fun. Like if you look at a lot of animated shows like Big Mouth or Family Guy, Cleveland Show, all these shows at some point do big musical numbers, and like it just becomes a big thing. So I'm excited for this to air.
When I was watching an episode of our Cartoon President and scrolling through the comments, just so funny where people are saying, how did they get Obama to voice himself? Because that's how good you are. Since we are on the Obama topic, how do you do an impression of Obama in front of Obama and not pass out?
I don't really when it comes to acting, at least, I don't get nervous much or more so intimidated. I'm always excited to act. I mean, everyone gets nerves. You get the butterflies more appropriately. That day I was in DC, and I knew that morning I was going to the White House. And I always try to be ready to just pop off. Sometimes you think of like little one-liners that might work if someone like wants to talk about this or that. If you want to crack a little joke, you just kind of have things in the barrel ready to fire off. That morning, going into it, I'm like, I know when I get to the White House, I'm going to the White House, so they're going to expect me to do the impression. I have no idea what I'm going to say. Like no clue. Like what it just, my brain was just so overwhelmed with the fact that I'm going to the White House, meeting with the president. This is going to be recorded and, broadcasted, and like, I don't know what to say. And so I get to the White House, we're sitting at the table, he walks in, he sits down at the table, and we say hi, we shake hands. And I still am like, what am I going to say? Because I know at some point it's going to come up.
Right.
I still don't know. So we have this meeting about healthcare, and then he takes us on a tour, and we go see the Oval. It takes us into the Oval Office. Going to the Oval Office, and he's showing us all the different, relics of history from different presidencies. Like, oh, this is from Lincoln, this is from Washington, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, all right, guys, I got to go. And so, people start filing out. And I was one of the last ones to walk out. And so as we're walking out, I went up to him and I was like, hey, Mr. President, I just want to say thank you. And, you kind of gave me some work because, I've been impersonating you the last however many years. And he looks at me and he goes, well, I hear that you have this great Obama impression. So let's hear it. And I was like, okay. So in that moment, I'm in the Oval Office. Obama is asking me himself to do the impression of him. I'm like, you can't shy away in that moment.
Right.
So at that moment, thankfully, because of my acting training, your training does that. And that's why training is so important. Like the improv of it just turns, something else turns on, and you just get going. And so I looked at him, I was like, well, look, you can take a break and I can take over. Either I can get to work or you can. You can take a lunch break and I can take an hour. Fill in for it. And so I just started talking. And that's the part that's recorded that everyone, gets to see on Instagram. And he looks at the camera. And I remember when I was doing it, in my head, I'm sweating. Because he just had this like interesting kind of smirk. And I'm like, I don't know what that smirk means. I don't know if that's this. I don't know if it's bad. Like, what he smirk? And then he looked at the camera and smirked. And when he smirked and looked at the camera, that's when I was like, all right, cool, I got it. Like, I got the laugh. And he was like, are you getting this? Come over here and record this. And that was just like a moment in history that it was just a super cool moment. It still sometimes doesn't always hit me. People are like, oh, you met the president. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not till I stop and think about it. So it was definitely a cool moment in history.
That's just so cool to know. But on the inside, you'd be like, oh my gosh. I'm like, how? How do you do that?
Yeah.
Your new podcast, which I watched the entire first episode and I absolutely loved it. Talk to me about that.
The Superhuman podcast is obviously like a newer venture for me. Like I haven't done a podcast before. A lot of friends kind of pushed me to do it. Like, yo, you need to do a podcast. People need to hear your perspective on things, yada, yada, yada. So I've done one episode so far. It's been a while since I've done that one, but it's just because I've been wanting to kind of recalibrate some things and restructure how I approach the episodes. But another one's coming. But the reason why I named it the Superhuman podcast is because as a culture, if you look at things, we're all very obsessed with superhuman movies and, superhuman stories and magical powers and things like that. And I feel like at mankind, we have tons of powers. We just don't use them. And there's a lot of parallels there. We look at the person that's able to fly and they're flying through the sky. And it's like energetically, we have that ability to elevate and to fly and to get above our situations. And it's just all about how you look at things. Or there's a character in a Marvel film or any superhero movie that can see through things or have X-ray vision and see through things. We have that ability too. We can see through things. We can see through ourselves. We can see through our own BS. We can see through others' BS. We can see the truth in any situation if we really stop and look at it. There's a superhero character that has superhuman strength. We have superhuman strength. We can endure and make it through anything. So it's all about mentality. So my parallel is that. That's why I call it the Superhuman podcast, is because I want to challenge people to look at what they're capable of, what powers they have that they're not using that they need to be using, and what powers that they are using that they can expand. We have the ability to feel things, and literally in a superhuman way. That's why when you look at things, you can walk into a building and someone, might be like, yeah, something, I don't know, this place gives me a weird vibe. You're feeling something in that moment. Or if someone's being dishonest with you, you just like, you feel something don't seem right, you feel something. There's literally a superhuman ability to feel things. There's literally a superhuman ability to do a lot of things. We just don't look at it. We get so wrapped up in just the internet and Twitter and trending topics and, all kind of toxic behaviors, and we've forgotten to kind of get back within ourselves and deep in ourselves and feel and look at things and expand our powers and not be so superficial. A lot of the things that I share are things that either I've learned myself or am learning, and I just want to share. There definitely will be more episodes to come. I know it's been a while since the first one.
I really encourage anyone who's watching this right now to take the time to listen to it. Where can people find you on social media and things like that?
Currently, I am voicing Barack Obama on a show called Cartoon President. It's an animated show. It's on Showtime, produced by Stephen Colbert from The Colbert Show. Season 4 should be coming out soon. Of course, shooting more content on the internet. Yeah, that's where you can find me. Instagram, @Alphacat. Pretty much on everything. And The Real Alphacat on TikTok.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to edit everything, edit out all of my ums and whatever. And
you said I'm going to edit them for all my ums and whatever.
Anyway.
Yeah, on that note.
On that note, thank you again.